it's Miss Piggy with the New Children's Museum. I'm back with you all again today at my home, at my kitchen table, and I'm super excited to be able to create some art with you all today. So friends, today's project is called Resist and Intersect, and it's all about empowerment and connecting with others in the world. So before we get started, let's go over some of the materials that you might need today. So you'll be needing a blank paper, some watercolor, paintbrush and water, and some tape. Let's get started, friends. Friends, I'd like you to take a moment to think about what these words might mean. To resist and intersect. So, what might it mean to resist against barriers in life? What does it mean to identify a whole person? And what does that look like as we connect with other people in the world? Because there are many ways that we connect and intersect with people. We have stories and experiences that bring uniqueness to our lives, and we also have ways that we can relate to one another and connect. So before we get started, we're going to start with our tape and our canvas. And what we're going to do is create our first layer of intersections. So using your tape, you're going to create intersections covering your entire canvas. So we're going to peel and just start connecting, overlapping. So for example, that creates an intersection. They're crossing, yet they're connecting right in the middle. Friends, you could play with different ways of intersecting all these. So just find different ways to connect all your pieces of tape. All right, let's take a look at this. So for example, I've created many intersections. So now friends, we're gonna go ahead and begin our next layer. So for here, we're going to incorporate our watercolor. So go ahead and get your water and your paintbrush ready, and we'll get started with the next layer. Friends, as we begin layering our watercolor, feel free to explore with different colors and different techniques. Whether you're creating gradients or perhaps your art piece would be monochromatic, which is one color, maybe different shades of colors, or maybe you want to create complementary colors, which are colors such as red and green, blue and orange, yellow and purple, and when those colors are next to each other, they're most vibrant. So it's up to you how you want to create your watercolor art. The fun part about this is that we get to see a cool process, a resist process. So as you paint, feel free to color over the lines or over the tape, because that will create a bleed and you'll see what's going to happen after. So I'm just going to start. This green is really catching my eye today. So just begin painting. You don't need too much water, so feel free. To just lightly dab. So for example, you could see that I'm painting over the tape. It's not perfect. So feel free to color right over it, paint right over it. Friends, you also notice that the less water you use will create a darker color. The more water you put on your brush, the more transparent it will become. I'm going to play with the gradient so that you can see different ways, different ideas. For example, I'm going to take another orange layer. So I'm going to start with a bottom layer of orange. Dip my paintbrush to start a new color. And I'm going to take this yellow here. So it's going to go from an orange to a yellow gradually. So I'm still covering a little bit of yellow over the orange. And I'm just bringing that right over to the tip of the triangle. Okay, add more yellow. And I'm just lightly brushing. So for example, it's a gradient. So you can play with different techniques, friends. Feel free to explore with your brush strokes too. You know, you could create different textures. It's all up to you how you want to create your art piece. A little tiny triangle here. I'm actually going to layer these two colors. So that's green, and I'm going to find a little bit of blue and just put it right over, which creates a cool turquoise color. Do that again. So I'm going to use green. Here, I'll show you. So that's green. And I'm going to take a little bit of the blue, put it right over. Just dabbing till I get the right consistency that I'd like. So this will create a turquoise. Create patterns within your shapes that you see here. So I'd like you to explore with all kinds of techniques that you feel like you want to create, because you are the artist. Maybe there's certain shapes that stand out to you that you want to create. That looks like bacon. It really looks like bacon. You could also explore with different parts of your brush. You'll notice that if you're using the tip of your brush, you're going to get more detail, whereas you use the side of your brush, the flat side, you'll get a wider brush stroke. So So you can always explore with different ways of using your painting tool. All right, friends, so now that you've covered your whole canvas with watercolor, it's time to begin peeling. This is the fun part. So after you give it a minute to dry and sit, you're just going to start to carefully peel your tape off. No particular order, but you'll observe and notice. You resist. For example, you see so we're going to continue tearing and ripping off slowly. It's okay if some of your paper comes off too. It kind of gives a cool texture. So don't worry about it. Just do your best to carefully peel. And have fun, friends, with that sound. Alright, friends, so now that you peeled off all of your tape, there's your art piece, friends. I hope you all had a great time creating art. Have a great day.